Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 3. Now, I know there is heaps of stuff coming out of the filming for the finale of The Flash Season 3 in regards to footage and photos. I will go over one or two more topics in the next few days in regards to that, so please don't harass me with video links and stuff like that. I've seen them, I'm just working on videos, I don't like to spam out the videos. If you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you would know that, so yeah, just be patient, I'll get them out over the next couple of days. But aside from that, we only have just over a week until The Flash actually returns from its breaks, so will Supergirl and Arrow as well if you are a viewer of those shows. So it's like, yeah, a week and a couple of days. We will return from this break with episode 19 where Barry goes to the future to get some much needed information and knowledge. But this video will be focusing on episode 20, which actually had its description released the other day, and it contains some pretty interesting stuff. Now, just quickly before we go ahead, if you are in Australia, more specifically if you live in Melbourne, I will actually be going to Supernova in Melbourne, which is like a pop culture exhibition, if you want to call it, like sort of like a Comic-Con. So if you are going there, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Let me know in the comments section down below if you're going there. If you do live in Melbourne and are sort of interested in going to it, I will leave the Supernova stuff linked in the description below. You can go check it out. Tickets are pretty damn cheap. They're like $30 to get in for the day, and there's heaps of stuff to do there. So yeah, definitely go check it out in the description if you live in Melbourne. And if you live in any other cities in Australia and you do go to Supernova, let me know where you live and stuff like that. Not your address and stuff, but the city. And I might try and get around to going to some of those as well. The Melbourne Supernova is on the 29th and the 30th of April if you do want to know the dates. But as I said, if you are living in Melbourne and sort of interested to go, the links will be in the description below if you want to go check out all the details and who else is going there. Now, just quickly again on episode 20, I have seen a ridiculous amount of people spreading a fake synopsis or description for this episode where apparently Barry goes to the night of his mother's death or something and does something there. Now, this is incredibly fake. If you ever see a synopsis or description on IMDb or anywhere that isn't like a proper news outlet, see if it is on one of those proper news outlets. If it isn't, it's a fake synopsis. IMDb is just like Wikipedia, it can be edited by anyone. So please just double check if you see a synopsis on IMDb or anything like that, because most of the time it is just someone with too much time on their hands trying to mess with people, and they fool people essentially into spreading that fake synopsis, which just confuses a lot of people. So yeah, just double check, because I've seen that fake synopsis so much recently. But anyway, the real synopsis for episode 20 came out, as I said earlier, and the episode is actually entitled, I Know Who You Are, and the synopsis goes as follows. Barry and the team meet Tracy Brand, a scientist who may be the key to stopping Savitar. Unfortunately, Killer Frost is also after Tracy, so Team Flash must battle their old friend, which proves to be particularly difficult for Cisco. Joe and Cecile's relationship takes a big turn. So obviously the main part of that synopsis that we will be focusing on, as you can tell by the title, is around Killer Frost, but we will quickly go over the other things included in the synopsis before we do that. To start off in the synopsis, we have Barry and the team meet Tracy Brand, a scientist who may be the key to stopping Savitar. So I guess the first question here is, who the hell is Tracy Brand? Well, she is an original character made for the Flash, TV show. They might have her reveal herself as an actual DC character from the comics later on, but who knows if they'll do that. It could just be like Harrison Wells, so she'll just be Tracy Brand. The CW, however, did release a description of her character, which goes as follows. In the future, Tracy Brand will be a highly regarded and well-celebrated genius. When she arrives on the Flash, however, she won't be that person quite yet. Described as a smorgasbord of quirky idiosyncrasies, somehow she'll discover her own future legacy and connect with Team Flash. Tracy Brand will be played by an actress known as Anne Dudek, hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. As the character description does say, in the future she is a highly celebrated and regarded genius, but that is in the future, not in the present. How I think she will come into play this season and in episode 20 is with Barry learning of her in 2024 when he travels there in episode 19. She may have been the one to work out how to defeat Savitar, but not early enough to save Iris, which would lead Barry to finding her as soon as possible in the present in 2023 in episode 20 to get work started on stopping Savitar. The character of Tracy Brand will also be in season 4, so she won't just be like a random addition for the end of the season to deal with the Savitar stuff. They obviously have, more plans for her going into next season. I have no idea what they could be. Maybe she could be replacing someone on Team Flash, or she could be vital to dealing with whatever the threat in season 4 is. It will be interesting to see why Killer Frost is after Tracy as well. It could be something to do with her abilities, who knows, it's a bit hard to predict. This Tracy character was spotted at filming for the finale of this season of The Flash. I'm not 100% sure for what though. It did sort of look like it could have been at the funeral scene, but as I said, I'm not 100% sure about it exactly, so I'm not going to bother guessing. The other part of the synopsis is this: Joe and Cecile's relationship takes a big turn. Now this will 100% just be like a small side story in the episode. It doesn't say anything about it being a bad thing, so maybe Joe gets Cecile to move in with him, seeing that Barry has moved out now. I don't know, just some thoughts. It doesn't say it's a bad thing, so a big turn could be like a big moment in their relationship, and that could be it. But on to the main point of the video, as well as the synopsis, and that has to do with Killer Frost and her villainous ways, which are going to cause Team Flash to intervene and try to take down their friend, or former friend, whichever way you want to put it. Now we know in episode 19 that the rest of Team Flash will be on the hunt for Killer Frost while Barry's in the future in 2024 doing his thing, but we don't know what she will be up to in that episode and whether or not it will lead on into the events of this episode. But seeing that this episode will for the most part be centered around this encounter with Killer Frost, you would have to assume that this episode will have its own story for Killer Frost in regards to what she is doing, why she is doing it, and the whole altercations she will have with Team Flash. One thing I actually am really looking forward to in this episode though is the scenes between both Killer Frost and Cisco. One thing that has been a highlight of the show as a whole since season 1 has been the friendship between Caitlin and Cisco, but another really interesting relationship to watch has been Cisco and Killer Frost. The first time we saw this was on Earth 2 when he interacted with the Earth 2 Killer Frost and managed to connect with her and, when everyone else, failed to get her to help them. And then earlier on this season when Caitlin had that initial trip down Killer Frost Alley, if you want to call it that, even though Cisco wasn't the main person who dealt with her when she went a bit off the rails, that was more Barry. Cisco's fear and worry for her after he vibes her as Killer Frost was genuine, and you could tell that they were definitely hinting at stuff to happen later on this season. As the synopsis does say, Cisco will find it particularly difficult to take on Caitlin or Killer Frost, which I know will add to some great moments that the two of these characters have had. Now, one thing which I think is going to be awesome, and I don't know, I'm not going to say it's 100% going to happen, but you think it would happen, is if you remember back to the episodes earlier this season when Cisco vibes Caitlin and sees her as Killer Frost, we see Killer Frost versing Vibe, and it's in it's obviously in a Vibe, and we didn't see it happen in that episode. Killer Frost was actually in her full-on suit, and you'd have to assume that this is going to happen this episode, like that fight between Cisco and Caitlin. If it's not that exact scene, like the way they're fighting, we'll probably get something similar. But if I had to put my money on it, I think we'd get something pretty damn similar to that, if not the exact same scene with Killer Frost in that suit and Vibe taking on Killer Frost and, trying to shatter her icicle throwing daggers or whatever you want to call them. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on the video. In regards to that leak stuff as well, I have had some people tell me that they're worried about getting copyright strikes, and someone's actually, Boba Talks, he actually got a copyright strike for one of the videos that he puts up. So in regards to some of the leaked footage, if I do videos on them, the actual amount of footage I will use will be, non-existent or very limited, and I might just have to link the stuff like I did in yesterday's video. I tried to limit how much I showed, and I really linked you off YouTube if you wanted to actually look at the pictures and the videos and stuff like that. So unfortunately it makes it a bit more of an effort for you guys, but understand that it's really risky for me to actually put that in videos, and it is sort of, putting me off doing those videos, but I will still do them, but just have to link all the photos and videos if they are relevant or, in existence in regards to that topic. I will have to link them off my video, and you have to go watch them elsewhere, which hopefully you guys understand. But yeah, as I said, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of all of this. Are you excited to see Killer Frost versus Vibe, and are you just excited to see Killer Frost in general? And do you think Tracy Brand actually knows what's going on with Savitar in regards to his identity, or just knows how to defeat him? It will be interesting to see what her role is, whether it's just, not necessarily minor, but, not as major as it possibly could be. But yeah, just leave all those opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.